Okay, we'll see who's going to be on first today. I'm not sure if it's going to be YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. We were going to have Ahmad on today, but there was bad reception in Jordan. For those of you who don't really know who he was a guy that was getting was half exonerated, and he was getting ready to be exonerated. But the state of Ohio decided. Uh, let me see. Let me try to see it. Let's see if we can get on now. If not, we're gonna try. He's trying to get on, but I think it's bad reception. I can't read what he said there, guys. We'll try one more time with him, and then if we don't get through, we'll go back on Facebook and see what happens. Okay, it does not look like he's gonna make it. So let's just go back to the Facebook one, guys. Okay, sorry guys for taking a pause. I'm gonna try to call again, and there's just no go with it. He is out in Jordan, like I was saying. He was getting ready to be fully exonerated in the state of Ohio, but the state of Ohio decided as soon as he was released to deport him back to Jordan. And one reason is they wouldn't have to pay him. That's really how a state works. They're unfair with how they handle situations like this. Um, I believe in the United States since he was like maybe 10 or younger than that. And he was like in his 50s when he was released from prison through the Innocence Project. He was taken off of death row because of, um, you know, um, stuff that is happening. So they just didn't want to pay him the money. And he's one individual that had this problem, but I'm sure there's many others. Um, every year, innocent people are walking out of prison. Um, then there's those that don't have the easiest case that's not going to get much of a chance. So you got to look at the bigger picture on what is important. Do we think it's okay to lock up innocent people? Do we think it's okay that people are staying 20, 30 years past their minimums? They got their case maybe when they were juveniles and they're still locked up. I'm not a fan of juveniles getting a life sentence because they are not adults still. So we need to start, realizing that our system is a system that is set up for failure, and the only way we're going to be able to change this situation, I'm just as much fault as everybody else. Is we have to pull together and work with others. No matter what they say about you or anything, we need to start pulling together and working together. Um, we have, I don't know if it's 45,000 incarcerated now. Under Gary Moore, we had 53,000. Excuse me. And that is way too many people. We have, I have a friend that has fought his innocence from day one. He was offered a 5-year plea deal. His wife got probation, and he said, "No, I'm not guilty." So he took it to trial. They gave him, I think it was 15 to life, and he's still down 30 some years later. If you're guilty, don't you think you would have taken the plea deal? I think I know I would have. And I'm going to give an example in my case. I was guilty of something, just not what the conviction was. And I was tricked by the prosecutor and the attorney at the time by threatening me with all this extra time, which I found out they could not give me. I was first charged with a misdemeanor, and the judge ordered me into counseling and dropped it. And then I got an indictment for the same thing. They just changed what the charge was. This is the America that we all know and that we love. Are we really the country of the free and the brave? Brave maybe because of our military. I'm never going to take anything away from our military by no means. But when we talk about freedom, we should have the first rights amendment, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and all that, and that goes for everybody. There, look what they're doing right now by the president's trying to mandate the vaccines and masks. Right there, they're taking away your first rights amendment. So a lot of the stuff that we believe should be protecting us is not. And one reason is because we keep voting people in. We vote people in that's in for special interest groups. We vote for people that don't care about human life. We vote people in that looks at prisoners as just a number and a way to raise money for the state. So let me try this one more time, guys. Let's see if it's going to come in. I don't think it will. Hello? Hello? Okay. Okay, guys. I'm back again. I'm just trying to call from Jordan, and we just can't get him in. I don't know how the weather is out there. He's a guy that should have been exonerated. Instead, the state of Ohio sends him back to Jordan so they wouldn't have to pay him the money that they owe him for being wrongfully convicted. I could go down the list on people that I believe personally is innocent. I believe I'll just name a few of them. Kevin Keith, Charles Keith's brother. There's no doubt in my mind he's innocent. James Tench on death row in Ohio. John Peters, Rocco Rhodes, David Vaughn, Patrick Rafferty, Shiloh's husband. That's just a few of the list. Then those that are wrongfully convicted, in my opinion, Claudia Spicer. She was sentenced as a juvenile. She was running from the crime. She was running before a crime even took place back to the car. She got scared. She was 16 years old, but someone shot a gun and killed someone else, so they gave her aiding and abetting. And she was running back to the car. She did not know that was going to take place. And 24 years later, she's still locked up, and they gave her 8 years at the parole board. A way to destroy a life for someone that did not know a crime was even going to take place. We need to do a better job to protect these people that are wrongfully convicted. And she was definitely wrongfully convicted. I even would say, close to being innocent because she knew nothing that this was going to take place. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to try again. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, are you there? Yes. You're there? Okay, I barely can hear you. Okay, you're going to have to speak up. I was kind of taking up the space for you, but I'm glad that you were able to call in. Um, you know, and I was talking a little bit, about how you were halfway exonerated and getting ready to be exonerated, but the state of Ohio decided to ship you back to Jordan, a country you have not seen since you were a kid, right? How old were you when you came to the United States?
I came about, I was 20 years old.
20 years old, okay. Um, right, but instead of you know giving you the money that you deserve for being wrongfully convicted, they shipped you back to Jordan, a country you have not been to in so many years. You know, and you wanted to stay in the United States, to my understanding, if I remember correctly. But that's another story. But my concern is how they got away with just sending somebody back instead of allowing the truth to take place. Why don't you share a little bit about what you remember about why you got deported and all that, and then another video we're going to talk about your case. Okay, you there? Hello, hello. Okay. Okay, let's see who's going to be on first, right? Not sure if it's going to be YouTube. Hey, everybody. Or TikTok. We were going to have Ahmad on today, but there was bad reception, Jordan. For those of you. Okay, everybody. That's okay. We'll continue to share later on the rest of this video. He tried to talk, and when you're in a far country as Jordan, it's not always going to work the way it should. But our number one mission, though, is to help people, not hinder them. And if we could pull together, and I can be guilty as this as well, but I have a big problem when I hear anybody judging someone else. I saw what happened to me yesterday. Um, and stuff like that should not happen. But we want to really get um, people to be able to work together. That's the only way we're going to ever see change occur. So it's going to take each and every one of us. Who's with us? Who's against us? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And are we going to pull together and allow things to take place, positive things to take place, or are we going to let them win with hatred? I just bought a shirt last week that says "Be kind." Because I'm a big believer in being kind. One thing with our group is we made a commitment a long time ago that we will never sit there and judge anybody else for their past. And I still feel that way. So I really do encourage everybody that's watching tonight to stand with us, stand tall, stand proud. And don't worry about the hatred. The hatred is going to happen regardless. If we learn to humble ourselves, we're going to be able to, accomplish a lot. So everybody, I'm James Cronenberg. Thank you for joining us today. Please check out our website, www.changestartswithusohio.org. Again, that is www.changestartswithusohio.org. Thank you, everybody, and God bless. Thank you, everybody.